Hello. Today I'm going to be making some YouTube thumbnails in Photoshop. I need to make a few thumbnails and update some thumbnails on previous videos. And I figured, why not record it? So let's walk through some of my layers over here. Currently I have the Caves of Cud folder visible, and I have a few layers here visible. The main one here is this various layers for the first episode's thumbnail with screenshots and gradients. And the first thing I'm going to do is select these gradients and move them out of the folder. I need those for the new thumbnail. Let's see. I do have an episode 3 folder here, and it's the one I need to create today. So let's look at it. Let's disable some of these layers with the title and number for now. And I'll disable these gradients as well. In this episode 3 folder, I have some screenshots of moments within the video that I thought might make for a decent thumbnail. And this one is of Slog. This is a screenshot of one of the active effects for Lovesick. This one I wanted to use for this other Lovesick active effect, just in case. Screenshot of the apple farmer's daughter, and when I fell in love with the apple farmer's daughter. Yes, I also went to the Caves of Cud wiki and grabbed this this sprite of the apple farmer's daughter. So just in case. My idea was to capture this moment where I laid eyes upon the apple farmer's daughter and fell in love. I think that there's some funny text here that I like, specifically this apple farmer's daughter lying on a bedroll. So I want to start there with the idea. So let me turn back on some layers. Put the episode title on there. And turn the gradients on. First things first, let's go into this episode title folder and update the episode number. The episode number layer is a text field that I can go in and update to episode 3. It has a gradient overlay effect on it, and I can turn that off to show you that it's just a text layer. Okay, so So I like this template. It's nice. First thing I'm going to do is try to use this screenshot just on its own and see how much I can push it. So that's too big. I want the whole piece of text visible. Okay. So this is a little problematic, but I think I know what I want to try, which is I want to remove the sprite from the image. So I'm going to step into the smart object of the thumbnail and mess with it. So, whoops. Let's grab the color of the background and just select around the sprite. I'm going to hit Alt backspace to fill in with that color I just chose. So that's okay. I like that. Now, I want to condense this up. And I don't really need the rest of the screenshot, so I'm okay with just moving it up. I want to keep the top of it. Yeah, that's okay. I'm going to start there. Let me flatten the layers. Now I should be able to save that. There it is. Like I said, I only really need that piece of the screenshot. Apologies if you notice some fading in and out on the recording. I'm just editing out loud noises. But for now, let us select this piece of the screenshot just on its own. I'm going to delete. Right, I need to rasterize the image first if I'm going to do it like that. So I'm going to rasterize it and roughly select what I want, which is this. Control-Shift-I and delete. That's okay for now. All I'm wanting to do is get a rough idea of what I want. Let's take the apple farmer's daughter sprite. Just like that. So far, conceptually, I'm not vibing with it. But let's keep following this idea for now. What I want to do is take this lovesick text and have it be like big. So I'm going to just put it under here like this and move it like this. I'm okay with that, but I do like how it says active effects, lovesick there. So let's grab that and do the same idea. I was thinking of having it be like this. My only concern, and this is more of a nitpicky problem of mine, is that it's going to be lower resolution since I'm blowing it up so big. You know, I don't think it's that bad. The other thought was using this text that says, "You fall in love with the apple farmer's daughter." I like that a lot. In fact, it might be just worth using this. I like that as a message. I think it's great. So let's take a moment to snag it. Now, I'm not going to be precious about it, though I will go in here and try and capture all of this extra filigree sort of business. You know, I believe I've already done this work. I remember creating this already. Oh, here it is. I just found it. I'm gonna drop it in here. This. I have made this image already for Elder Yududad when I was making a piece of content for TikTok. So I already have this, which is really nice. So what I can do is go into the smart object itself and do what I did before, which is, that's the wrong color. Let's grab the color and do the same thing. Replace it, make it blank. So now we have blank text box. There is an issue with this, though, is that the screenshot color is different. So if I were to try and just put this text in, it's not going to work so well. So, a fair idea, a fair attempt, but I'm just going to do my original plan, which was just to select this box and copy it. And I'll just do this very roughly, so it's easier on myself. Now just make it. I'll just do the rough selection here. And I can go in and deselect some spaces I don't want, like this. And I'm sure this isn't the most efficient way to do this, but when working with this pixel art, I'm okay with doing it like this since it's easy to work with squares. So I'm just going to make some simple shapes there, simple adjustments. The selection itself is a little large, but that's okay. I'm going to do that. I'm actually going to modify it and feather it, not just a little. I'll give it a 2 radius feather and see how that feels. It's a little too blurry for my taste. So let's go back and try it without the feather. I'm going to try a 1 pixel feather instead of 2 and see how that feels. That's better. I'm okay with that. My selection was too wide. I think that's my main problem with it. So, I think what I'm going to do is try again with the selection. And this is me now worrying too much about it. So, I'm just going to fix quickly the bottom. This is what's bothering me the most here. Just going to deselect that bottom section and deselect this top section. Same idea, just to tighten it up. Same thing over here. Cool. So let's see that. Yeah, that's nice. So, I'm going to disable some layers here. I like this little prompt. That's really great. And now I have the apple farmer's daughter that I can put down. I like how clean that is from the wiki. That's nice. I really like this. I think what I'm missing here is a decent background. Now I like all of this stilt grounds background, but I don't know what the best option is for me. Not this one. This one, let's see what I'm working with. Not a lot of great options there either. Sorry about any flashing. Photoshop tends to do that here and there. To me, anyways. So I'm missing an element here that I feel like I would like to go capture. And it is this background here. Now, I could, just to block it out, throw it down like this. Right? It's just a little too low res for me. Like that. So I'm going to take a moment to boot up the game and get a screenshot. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I went and got some backgrounds from the salt dunes that I think might work for us. A closer one and a farther one. So let's just see how this one works for us. Something like this. Yeah, I'm okay with this. The thing I want to do is give the apple farmer's daughter some separation from the background. And the way I'm going to do that is to use my gradients. So let's turn them on and move them in between layers to give ourselves some separation. Well, I can do that, of course. And I can do this, of course. I'm okay with that. Let's see what it looks like with the title. All of this so far I'm okay with. I still want the sprite of the apple farmer's daughter to be a little more poppy. So I'm going to see if I can make some adjustments to it. If I go adjustments and go to brightness and contrast, let's brighten her up a little bit. I don't want to lose her colors, but just brighten her up. Make it a little bit more contrasty. Yeah, I like that. And let's throw a drop shadow as well underneath her drop shadow. Let's make the opacity really intense for now, just so we can see it. Let's soften it up. Just a little. Something like that. And I'm just going to keep messing with this until it feels okay. I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this. Just enough to separate her. Doing too much. I don't like that, but let's start there. So without the brightness and the drop shadow, it looks like that, fairly dull. If we throw the drop shadow and the brightness changes, now they're popping. So that's nice. I'm going to make her layer bigger. Something like this. And let's see what else I can get away with. I like that. She's a little too big now, though. Keep her within the safe zone. Excuse me. I do want these two layers to be centered on each other. That would be nice, so I'm going to group them. I like that. Though, I would like to see this text be bigger. I think this is okay for now. I'm just pushing this around to see how I feel. I like that. That one feels good to me. I want that text to be more. I might also try and make it pop a little bit. Let's mess with it. I'll also throw a drop shadow on it. Never mind, I don't like that. Let's go to Image, Adjustments, Brightness and Contrast, and do the same thing. Just to make it just a little more prominent. So I like that as an option. My other thought was to use one of these lovesick ideas. This one, likely. I'm going to select just this. Active effects. I always try to keep myself organized in my layers, just so I'm not confused later. So, here's the other idea. It's just not as clean as I'd like, and it would take too much effort to make it much better, so I'm going to toss that idea and stick to where I was. I'm relatively happy with this. I think there's still something bothering me about the apple farmer's daughter. But for now, I'm going to move on. Otherwise, I won't stop. So, this is nice. I like this one. going to, I lied, I'm going to adjust the drop shadow, make it a little darker. This is me now messing with it a bunch. Now the drop shadow is a little distracting. I just want to separate it. That's where I was. Alright, I think that's enough. Cool, I'm going to save and move on. So these other layers I have are to make some adjustments to some older thumbnails. So let's take a look. Stardew Valley. So the thumbnail currently for this video for the second episode of playing Stardew Valley is just an image with the gameplay. So I wanted to test out a thumbnail with the title of the game, and I also wanted to think about adding a graphic to the thumbnail, something that just says ASMR in the corner. Now I have this. I have my logo here, this SVG file, and I think it's good. I'm going to remove the by Davy part. Let's rasterize. No, I don't want to rasterize. I will remove the Davy part when I'm ready. Let me see here. You know what I can do, I think, is add a layer mask. I'm not super experienced with layer masks, but that should work. There we go. So there it is. It just says ASMR. And it will take a second here to... That won't work. I have not provided myself enough room, but I think what I'll do is use Photoshop's kind of awesome generative fill to give me some breathing room. This generative fill will take information from my selection and posit out some options for me, and these are all fine. They're not great, but I don't need it to be great. I just need it to be functional. Yeah, I'm okay with that. The issue will be in the future, how am I going to maintain this top space for that? But I think I'm okay with just this as it is. And then I also have an option here to do one with no buttons on the screenshot. And I would need to do a different generative fill for this. So let's do that. Generate that for me. One of the reasons I wanted to try these sort of adjustments to the thumbnails is to use some of YouTube's testing tools to see how different thumbnails perform in terms of click-through rates. I like the ones with the buttons more. So, in any case, that I think is good. And YouTube allows you to do some automated testing that I'm excited to try, where I will be able to provide it a number of thumbnails and it will automatically serve the video with those varying thumbnails and tell me how they perform. And so I think it would be a good opportunity to see if it's worth putting a little bit of extra time into the thumbnails. And the general consensus with that as an idea is that it is worth it. And I agree in a lot of ways. But I'm also not gonna be busted up if I don't get a lot of performance out of these videos. I'm mostly just excited to be doing them at all. But I also enjoy messing with the marketing side. It is what I do at work, after all, so it's always good practice. No, there we go. I'm okay with that. The concern now is I feel like they should always be in the same spot. Try and keep it consistent between thumbnails. I think that's good. Excellent. So that's really all I wanted to try for these old thumbnails. And then the last thing I need to do is create a new thumbnail for this video. And to do that, I have a new folder called Photoshop. And for now, I'm just going to fill the background with, let's add a new layer and throw it in. Oh, just to get some color on the screen so it's not so bright. I went and I grabbed the Photoshop logo. So I have this, and I like that. Let's throw it in there. Let's do some text. We're going to say Photoshop. And we'll just make it white for now. Photoshop ASMR. Let's left adjust it. And what I would like to do is keep it in line with my channel's sort of brand aesthetic. So I'm going to look at my fonts here. I know that this font is this guy. These fonts I grabbed are from some royalty-free font sites that are marked as free to use. And honestly, I like that they're going to be different here. And let's just make it a little bigger for us and see what we want. Now this font, I'm not a big fan of. This is the font that's I was using to emulate the Caves of Cut font. Now, I don't know what font makes the most sense for us here, but I might just use this one to keep in line with this. I guess my only concern is that it's all capitals, and I don't like that. What if we just did Arial? No, that's a little too silly. I'm going to dig through some of these fonts and I'll be back with a good decision. Okay, I've decided to cut the Photoshop text. This to me makes the most sense. So I'm going to make them both a lot bigger. Yeah. It's a little big. I'll admit it. But now we need to take a screenshot to put as the background. And so I think what I'll do before I do that, actually, I'm going to grab the color from my logo just so I can have it. And I'm going to make this that color. Good. Now I do like that, but I think there's an opportunity to do this gradient overlay effect. If I copy the layer style, will that work here? There we go. I do like that. I do like that. That's nice. So I will take that. Question is, should it be left adjusted? Or perhaps maybe Photoshop should be centered, right? Maybe it's something like this. I'm not sure why I'm not getting a center snap here. This is bothering me now. Where's the center? Come on. Normally it's supposed to center it. There we go. That's good. I could do something like this. Right? Maybe do like a little bit of interest tilt. Yeah. Yeah, I'm okay with that. If I do maybe, here's an idea. Since I have this, I can do another gradient layer and do something like with my colors here. It's a little hard to read now, but there we go. That's nice. That's all right. This gradient's a little light. Mostly just because of my colors here. Maybe I give this text a outline or an outer stroke of some kind. Stroke. I'm not getting the stroke. Oh, I know why. It's because I have the effects turned off. So let's turn it on. There's my stroke effect. I'm gonna mess with these colors a little bit just to see what I can get. Yeah, I like this. I like that quite a bit. Now I wonder if I can do a gradient on the stroke. I can. And I have my color gradient there, yeah. That's nice. I like that. But it's harder to read. That's at least easier to read. So, let's try that. That at least makes it pop. Yeah. I'm happy with that. Yeah. Sweating the details now. That's good. I'm happy with that. Cool. The other idea I had for this was to take a screenshot of this and use it and make like a infinite mirror effect, if that makes sense. Let me see if the idea works. I'm going to open the snipping tool and take a screenshot of the window. Oh, it didn't work. Screenshot, window. No, new. This one. Here it is. If I hit copy and paste, there it is. I love that. So if I do that, and then I take another screenshot of that with the snipping tool and make a new one and copy it and paste it in. Eventually it will be so silly that it won't matter. I don't know. You know, what's the answer? I actually think this is the answer. 1 layer deep. 2 layers deep is too much. But I like this. Now I want to make this a lot bigger. Like that. And then take a screenshot of this. So take a new screenshot. That. And copy it. Paste it in. There we go. I love it. Let's zoom in a little bit so it's like just a little bit bigger for us in the screenshot. Like that, something like that. Now, let's close some layers and get the final screenshot. I think this is really great. Let's copy that, throw it in. There we are. I think this is a great image. Oh, with the exception of there's a little bit of taskbar in the shot there, so let's try again. Let us try again. Let it drop first. Create new. I'll see it keeps doing it. Look at that. New. Yeah, it wants to keep doing it. I don't like that. That is strange. That's a strange side effect of the snipping tool and the taskbar. Well, if I can't fix it, then I'm fine with it. What I could do, though, is just do this. Just a little bit, maybe like that. That I'm okay with. It's either that. This is good. This I'm happy with. So let's look at all the thumbnails we made. So here's the thumbnail for this video. Let me know what you think about it, or if you like it, or think I should try something new, if you have any ideas. It's always worth testing new ideas. And here's the rail-bound one. Simple. All I really wanted to test was adding this piece of text and see if it performs any differently. Same thing with the Stardew Valley one. Another thought I had for this one was to make the thumbnail itself, or this image thumbnail, a little brighter. But for now, I think it's good. And the new Caves of Cud one. Looking at it now, I kind of want to make the drop shadow darker. I'm going back, I'm doing it. Let's adjust the drop shadow. Just darken it up. Just an amount. There. well, this is what I'm sticking with, and if it's any different in the final, I guess you'll find out if I change my mind about the drop shadow. Actually, you know what I might do? Just as I'm thinking about it, is change the order of these layers. Move the apple farmer's daughter up. I don't know what's best. But I think what I'll do is test them both. Right? No reason not to. Alright. Well, thank you for joining me in the creative process. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you're enjoying some well-deserved rest and relaxation. I'll see you later.